Hey, welcome back to our channel. Today we are listening in with Buddy and Nancy is talking about how in their relationship, sometimes she holds on to things in the past and put them in her back pocket. So let's listen in and see what she has to say.
And so,
well, and like with me, part of my personality too is the peacekeeper. There's a difference in a peacemaker and a peacekeeper. So the peacekeeper just says, I really don't like conflict. I don't like to hear it. I don't like to be a part of it. So then I'll just find myself, if I just walk away. But the problem with that is, with the peacekeeper, is you really haven't forgotten it.
Right.
And actually, I used to have this little thing, and I'm being very vulnerable to share this with you, is Buddy would do something. Like something that I thought, well, I can't believe he, like something silly or wrong or something, and I would go, I'm going to keep that in my back pocket. I mean, I literally would, I'm going to keep this in my back pocket. So it's going to be there, so when the time comes, I'm going to pull that out and say, well, do you remember when you did this? Do you remember when this happened? Or whatever.
and you know what's funny is most of them I didn't.
Sure.
I mean, a lot of times
Right.
I'm thinking that never happened.
It was insignificant to you.
Yeah,
But
not
the thing
her.
about it is, I was really convicted one day. I was about ready to pull that out of my back pocket, and I heard, what are you doing? What happened to grace and forgiveness? You know, this is your husband. And I mean, that was true. I mean, that's what came on me, and I was really convicted. It wasn't okay, because I was still holding on. If you're sticking it in your pocket to use for later, you were holding on to that hurt or whatever it was that irritated you. And we're not supposed to be holding on to any of those. We're supposed to be able to forgive. We take it to the Lord and ask Him to give us the forgiveness and grace that we need to give that one. First one day, then it just explodes all over everywhere, and you can't take those things back.
Right.
And like I said, and this is the man I love, so I don't want to have those times that we have been separated just because of anger or selfishness or any of those things.
One thing that was interesting about this is something, and it says that anger is a secondary emotion,
It is.
and that there's something that caused that anger. And
Wow, can I really resonate with what she's saying?
I was wondering.
I used to hold on to all the hurts. Like, I did not even know really what forgiveness was. And Nancy and I actually had this conversation later on about how I really looked for ways to get back at Travis. And so he would do something. Let's say I got home from the grocery store and I have a whole car full of groceries and you didn't help me. I would see that as some kind of a thing against me, that I would hold that against you for a time frame and then use it like the next time you did something. The feeling that I felt with that would be combined with the next feeling of frustration or hurt. And now it's this big. And then something else happens and I add more and something else and I add more. And it just got to the point where it would explode and you would hear it all from months of all the things that you did to me that I didn't appreciate.
Did each one build your case?
Oh, yeah.
Confirmation bias. You just looked for proving yourself right in something?
Yes, I could prove all kinds of ways that Travis was against me.
What I thought was neat in the way that she was talking is that she said earlier she's a people pleaser. And a lot of times what I hear in that, because it relates to me a lot too, is being that way, there's this resentment that I would hold secretly inside. Is that what you're kind of feeling when you're doing that? It's kind of like, I'm going to hold this resentment in and prove a case or something.
There's also another side of it. And for me, it was the lack of safety in our relationship to talk about that thing that bothered me. We didn't have the communication there. And so I felt almost like I had to wait until it was time to blow it all up and let it all out.
That makes sense.
Versus just addressing the things that were bothering me or upsetting me in some way. Because really, what we have found over our relationship is it's not about the thing that he did.
No.
It's about something much deeper that's going on. And if I address it right away, like, hey, you told me you were going to help me with the groceries and you didn't. And it just hurt my feelings and just wanted to let you know. Oh my gosh, you would be like, I am so sorry. I did not mean to do that. I wanted to help you or whatever, and it's resolved and done with rather than holding on to something, expecting it to go away, but really it's never going to go away until it's dealt with.
Yeah.
And if it's a blow up, it doesn't get dealt with anyways, because now there's a lot of things happening in our vortex of I blow up, you feel judged and like a failure.
Yeah.
And then I'm feeling not good enough. And, it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper, where if I would have just recognized that I didn't feel important in that moment, that you didn't help me, then we could address that thing, that root, and then move on from it.
So what just came up for me when you just said that was the lack of communication that sometimes goes on around the same thing, to where you may think I should know what you're thinking and I don't know what you're thinking when it comes to like the groceries.
I used to say, you should know. You
Right.
should know what I need.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a mind reader, and neither
Not
is
yet.
your spouse.
I am trying, but not yet.
Yeah, it's true. I used to expect you to know. You should know what I need.
Or when you would be upset, I should know why you're upset.
Right.
I should have already figured that out.
And I would give so many signals, like cold shoulder, not talking to you, like,
Get on the far side of the bed when you're upset.
and you would be like, what's wrong? Can you guess what I would say? Nothing. I'm fine. When really there's all kinds of stuff going on, and I didn't know how to communicate about it. And so I would keep it in.
And I'm over here trying to figure it out, like through this list. Oh man, I need to go backwards in time. What was it?
And then you would say something like, how long are you going to be this way? How long are you going to not talk to me? And that would just add more days
You
onto
just
your
added
consequence.
24 more hours.
Oh yeah, I was really good at assigning consequences for your behaviors and your actions, because I felt like that was my responsibility.
Yeah.
And, I found that through really great, authentic conversation and communication, it's most of the time a misunderstanding.
It is.
It's not even one of us meant to do something or say something or whatever. It's a misunderstanding about the whole circumstance. And then we're like, oh, okay, I totally see what you were saying, and thanks for letting me know that. And then I get to move on and have joy in my life because I've let things like that go and I don't hold on to them anymore.
It's so good being able to just let things go and not take, for me, not take myself so seriously. Because that's where I start keeping score with you, is when I'm taking myself too seriously.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us on this video. And if you feel like this would help someone else, please share it with them and give us a comment about ways that you want us to address other videos, maybe some other questions you may have.
Thanks so much for watching. Bye.